This is the world that I made. It's not very good, but I like it. Ooh, it's not... there are many worlds like this world, but this world is my world, because I made it, and I'm very happy with it. It's very pretty and peaceful. It's kinda big. It is a little bit big. And everything's really big in the world, and I am very small. This is actually the daytime version. I actually have another version. Shit, I forgot. This version is the first version. And it has all these little things about it. There. What I love most is probably the house. No, I did not make any of these assets. You can find them all on Unity Store, Unity Asset Store. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, my favorite is the house because I have a lot of these pictures up. Just kind of roleplay pictures I had. So this one is Zenna JC. That one is Burst. That one, the red-haired guy is Snails. These two, so the one being hit, that guy. That's also Burst with his first model. And then this one is Raijin. Oh shit, I forgot what his character's name is. And then this one is also Zenna and JC. And this one is a group photo. It's one of my favorites. Zenna, JC, Shango, and Min. And this one is of Shango in a bikini. A mankini. Oh, it's a mankini swimsuit that's also a kind of like a maid outfit as well. I can't always zoom. So this is probably one of my also favorite areas as well. I put a lot of time in constructing this part because this part was not on the house. I had to like put it in. Let's just say I had to put it in Unity because this old house is modular in Unity. It took a long time. And I got she has in her house, she has like little powders for potions, plants, pre-made potions. There's this little cycle about planes. And then here's the planes poster. And then just more powders and stuff. There's a lot more in the night version. But I like both versions. Oop. Hello, camera. There we go. And she has an outside. The big tree. Oh, with a big tree. God, sometimes I hate being short. And that's what the back of her house looks like. A made man kitty, yes. My eyes are hypnotizing. Thank you. They're blue and orange. Oh. Focus. Camera. Focus. What else can I show you? I don't know. I just like the atmosphere of this place quite a bit. I could just turn it around like that, probably. Yeah. I think there's a lot of things missing in this version of the world. There's really big mushrooms. Big waterfall. I think this version is the one that's like kind of not optimized. So let me see if I have a good model of the character that lives here. Okay, the character that lives here, her name is Zenna. Her name's Zenna. This is her cottage. She doesn't really go very many places other than where she lives, because she's lived here all her life. Why she's lived here all her life? Well, when you kind of live in the Feywilds, which is this place, you kind of get a thing called... it's forgetfulness. It's Feywild forgetfulness. And when you live here, a human, like her, lives in the Feywilds for so long, that's what you get. And over time, you'll forget certain things. And she has forgotten pretty much from 0 to 5, so she knows roughly what happens to 5 to how old she is now, but it's kind of fuzzy. She actually left her home 2 years ago to go into a place called, wait for it, the metaverse. No, it's not the lizard person's thing. The metaverse, on VR chat, the metaverse is the collective of the multiverse and every universe in it. So in Enlightened terms, pretty much picture Marvel and how Marvel did all their timelines and universes and how they all collided, blah blah blah, and like Doctor Strange and in like that Loki show. That's pretty much what the metaverse is. It's all universes, multiverses, timelines coming together into one spot and one singularity. And that's where she went. For 2 years, that's where she was. She got a job, she met friends, and then she went home for a little bit and got mana sickness. And with mana sickness, she stayed home for about 3 years. And people from the metaverse were like, huh, where did Zenna go? So she said, oh, I've just been a little bit sick. Hasn't, it's not a big deal. But her friends were like, well, come and say hi. So they came and say hi. And by the time they got here, it's been 2 years later. And in the metaverse years, it's only been a month. So the Feywild's time is sort of weird. The longer she stays here, the more time passes, or vice versa. The longer she stays here, less time passes, or more forgetfulness she gets. And parts of her life she forgets, just randomly. It's like an absence of thought, pretty much. She doesn't have amnesia. It's just she lost the thought or the memory. I guess if that makes sense. I don't know if that does. There's a couple other things that's about her house that I put in the night version, but there's a really nice area up here. There is this wheat field. The wheat field and this. Just kind of like construction zone. She was gonna put a second house over here so one of her friends could live here. Her and her friend and her friend's boyfriend. But that didn't really work out, so. There's also a couple more areas. I think over here. There's like a little lake. Because most of she's surrounded by like mountains and plateaus, but the other part, she is surrounded by a lake. And this is not a very good spot to go. And there's a lot of like different things that I really love about this place, just about like the scenery. Just like this still image that you're looking at. It's really pretty. You go crazy if you live alone in isolation, but some people don't go crazy. Maybe she's a little bit crazy. That would make a little bit sense. There is a couple things about her that's not so nice. One thing is her personality. She's very quiet. She doesn't talk to a lot of people. If you watch today's RP and how she interacts with people, it's very seldom. Today I was kind of a little more out there. And if you notice, there's a couple characters that when she was approached by them or they bumped into her, she kind of just ignored them. That's because she sort of doesn't like creatures that are not human. If you don't look like an elf, half-elf, human-ish, humanoid, and if you're like some zombie creature or dragon or full-on like dragon, she's going to be very wary of those people. That's because she lives in the Feywilds. The Fey are not very nice to her. She has no choice to live in the Feywilds. That's a spoiler in its own. I could go into more, but nah. So the Fae are not allowed around her house. But places like this area, is where Fae come. And they just kind of like hang out really close to her house. And I don't know what else to say. They're just not nice to her. So that's why she doesn't like Fae or creatures that are not human. And it tends to lead to people not liking Zenna. Some people understand where she's coming from because they kind of have caught on to her circumstances. But some people are kind of like, they don't like her because she doesn't like them. But it's just, she's assuming that all creatures that are not human are gonna make her life miserable. Which a couple people have, and a lot of them haven't, actually. Here's another favorite spot. B. It is the fairy circle. Wow! Since you're in the Feywilds, this doesn't do anything. It's like, oh, cool, fairy circle, wow, there's like a million of these in the Feywilds. But if you're on like someplace else, a place like Earth, if you step into a fairy circle, Fae will come. Probably not right away, but they're watching. And if you sleep in a fairy circle, you will be whisked away by fairies and never to return. Whoa, maybe you will return, but usually you don't. Or you'll either be whisked away to the Feywilds, basically kidnapped, or you will have to dance eternally with the Fae, with iron shoes on, red hot, I believe, if my lore is coming to my brain correctly. It's kind of interesting. Let's see. I guess we can go to the night version. There isn't any more worlds that I've made, just this one pretty much. I've made avatars for her lore, pretty much. Some of my friends were going to play them, but her lore is kind of not progressing right now. Oop. So here's one. He's a small boy. Weh. Looks kind of cool. He has a couple of cool things about him. My favorite is the facial expressions, obviously. Smug. You can actually combine these together. So you can combine angry and smug, but they kind of look weird. And then you can do tongue out too. Oh, you can also do angry and tongue. It looks so funny. Yeah, I like small things. Yeah, I like small things. Yeah. I'm not changing that statement. There's a couple other things about this character. This one is his combat avatar. So you get a couple things. This one is probably my favorite. Invisibility. In the night map, it looks way better because these eyes are pretty much the only thing that you see at night, and the rest of this outline, you can hardly see it. So since this is kind of like stealth / invisibility, the reason why I have it like this is so like people could still technically see this. You can see the shader against this is kind of wonky, which is okay. That's what I want. Because some people's headsets / eyes in VR can't catch fully invisible shit. Plus, when you're role-playing, you don't have name tags on. So it's really hard to see other people or animations and shit. Especially in night maps. When he goes invisible, I can also toggle a couple things. Or just toggle them in general. I have this effect. It's leaves. So he can create like a illusory effect of leaves and the sound of wind. In D&D, there is a spell like this that I can't remember the name of. Small is cute. Small is cute. Hi, Rice. This dagger. Unity Asset Store has a lot of cool free little things like these. So if you don't want to like go on DeviantArt and try to find weaponry, you can always go on Unity Asset Store for Unity and search up like low poly free weapons or other things like that. This trail effect is not free. I got it in a pack. No, I don't make my own particles, usually, because I'm lazy. I could, but I don't. I could make a lot of stuff myself, but I don't. I'm just kind of lazy. Boop, boop, boop. So that's that avatar. There's a couple things about this avatar. His arms. They're butterflies. Like in a butterfly motif. And then his chest. So this is symbolizing his pretty much devotion to his court. His court is of an unseelie court in the unseelie realms of the Feywild. And his lord is Lord Monarch. His full name I forgot right off the top of my head, but he's an unseelie lord, who's also a changeling. Whoa. And this character is also a changeling. This is pretty much the court's symbol, and all characters within his court have this motif on their chest, over their heart, or on the other side, on opposite of their heart. So this one, I believe, is on the, yeah, it's on the opposite side of his heart would be. And the motifs on his arm, it just represents this character and himself and who he is. Most of his magic is stealthy, and then there's a couple things that I'm going to add later on this avatar that you can toggle. It will be wings, where he could like glide up and down, and they will be butterfly rings. And butterfly or hawks, I don't know. But the whole court motif is either a heart or butterfly wings. Butterfly wings is interchangeable, the heart is not. I like lore, and I like it's pretty much what I'm saying. I play D&D in VR. That's pretty much what it is. I VLARP, VR LARPing, virtual reality, live action roleplay. Yes, it works like that. That statement works, and everyone tells me, no, you can't virtual reality and LARP in it. Yeah, you can. It's basically the same thing almost. The only difference is you're physically in a 3D space and not outside with buffers in a field or in a park. You are in a world in a 3D space, but you're still interacting with someone like you would in real life. So why can't you call it that? There's also a couple other avatars that I like. That one I made, this other one I made kind of inspired by the lore that I want to do, but this one is not my avatar. I did put it together, but this is for someone else. It's one of my favorites, actually, and it looks really good in the daytime map. There's nothing on this avatar, just this is what it is. It just looks nice. No toggles. Wee. And all these avatars, I do the textures on. This one and the other one. The assets I just find and I buy, and I just put it together. So this is like a free asset. This is a paid for asset. The body, the face, the hair, the antlers are free. Textures are all mine. I just don't make anything from scratch. I usually take what other people make, ask someone else to edit it for me, because I could do it, but no, I don't. And then I retexture it. I pretty much just, I like retexturing better than trying to wrap my head around 3D modeling. Those are pretty much the only two characters that I have. Oh, actually, I lied. There's another one. This one's kind of messed up, though, in full body. Oh, God. Is this smaller or bigger than the last one? Oh, it's bigger. Wah, wah, wah. Ah! This creature is a construct. As a part of the Fae court that I was talking about, the legs are a little bit funky in full body. But it's whatever. This one was a free asset on Booth that I just added the wings to and redid the face and did the textures. Elk. Yeah, it was kind of like an elk. I don't know. It was more like a deer in my opinion. This one at night, it's really spooky in my opinion. These constructs are controlled by the higher ups in the Fae court. So mostly that other avatar I was in, that person can't control these. There's only 3 people who could probably control these, just like command-wise, like, hey, do this, hey, do that. It would be the Fae Lord himself, his second hand, whose name is Weaver. I don't have their model, but I'm working on that. And the third is Lady Jellyfish. Probably the fourth would be Quicksilver. That's kind of like an unknown Fae, just like a random living NPC. But these constructs, they don't talk, they don't have a personality. They just do shit and look scary and kind of like stalk people. Where's my goblin model? I have it. I'm just showing off my other models. I can tell you about my goblin model though, since we're kind of like going through models. Here. I'll get into my goblin one. So, you come here often? I bet you do. Get lost in the woods a lot?